Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flippin' Fridays. And we're going to have kind of a fun little day playing with fabric and some of our fun cutting machines. Hi, I'm Jim with Amy Sews. Welcome to Flippin' Friday. And I thought since it's getting toward the holiday season again, I thought I would share with you a simple, pretty simple, easy way to make your own bows for decorating or gift giving out of your own fabric that you may already have in your collection, or you may have leftovers from a former project, or find that really nice fabric that you don't know what to do with. Well, make a bow. And one of the first ways to start with that is using your cutting machine. And here on my Scan and Cut, I had sent a file I created to make like the ties and actually the little bow portion of my ribbon. And basically all what it takes is finding two fabrics you like. So here on the reverse side, I have this really bold red, and I fuse them together using my favorite fusible web product that normally works with their fabrics, and I like to use a little heavier one. That way it kind of finishes the edges for me. So here I have the two layers fused together. I cut in a band of 12 inches wide. So basically a third of a yard will make two really nice full bows, and put it on my Scan and Cut mat and had my machine do all the work where it cut out all the bow pieces and the ties. And then to finish it off, we're going to go over to the sewing machine, because pretty much it's a very, very simple process to do, really. And all I need is my fabric. And here I have like one of the bow section or tie section, sorry. And I'm here at my chenille M17, and I set up for a medium or centered zigzag stitch, and it's actually number 9 on my machine. And I increased the width to 4 because I wanted to be sure that the left zig hits my fabric and the right goes over the chenille stem. I do have on my open toe foot, which is ideal for applique work. This way it has a little groove in the backside, so it'll ride right over the chenille stem and the stitching. It's not a very tight stitch. The length is only at 1.5, which is like the standard for it. You could have a tighter or longer if you like, but pretty much 1.5 is like the ideal setting for that. And I do have embroidery thread in my needle. And as with most embroidery designs, I just left my bobbin thread in, and I did that for a reason, to show you what may happen when you do that. Normally what I would do is I would have the thread in the bobbin that matches the back side of the fabric. That way, when you would sew it out, those zigzag stitches would disappear. As you can see here, there's very slight zigzagging showing up on the screen, but trust me, they're there because I can see it against the red. So normally I would have done it on a red. I have my needle in my left position, and what I'm going to do is just drop the needle in like that, and I'll just put the chenille stem over the side of it, and then I can just go ahead and at a good rate. I don't want to go too fast or too slow. And as you can hear, my machine's telling me my needle came unthreaded, and that's my fault because I didn't make sure that I had my thread under the feet, sorry, the presser foot. There we go. And sure, I could have used my needle threader, but I'm kind of old school, and I usually use my own fingers to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and back up a little bit. And the reason for that is that it had done that tie stitch at the beginning, but I missed it when my thread came undone. So you can see going back and forth will not hurt it. I have my presser foot raising every time I stop, so I can adjust the stem if I need to. And I'm going at a nice comfortable rate, and where I'm looking at is actually right around here, the center of the foot, just so the center of the foot lines up with the edge of my fabric, and that's also where I'm laying my chenille stem. And I'm going at a nice pace. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow. And one of the things too is you want to be careful where you stitch, because if you hear like a thump, that's telling me that I went and hit the chenille stem wire, which tells me that when I'm done with this, I'm going to go and throw that needle away. And I'm going to go right to the edge, give a sharp bend to my chenille stem, and then I'm just going to sew it right up to the edge, kind of like that. Anytime it doesn't line up for you, just pause a moment, give it a little straighten up. Okay. And you can see this, I'm not going to finish it right now, but I can just basically go all the way through, and I can get a really nice effect on the edge of my fabric, like I did on my other bow, just like that. And the next thing then is to construct, and basically what I've done was I have my bow here, my bow portion. And when I sewed those together, I started off with a short amount of chenille at the end, going over and leaving the bulk at the end. And this way, by doing that, I have a long tie at either end. I can just twist these together to secure those chenille stems, just like that. And then I think I'm going to switch over to the other camera where we have a little bit better lighting. There you go. So you could say I have it all nicely. Hi, Bonnie and Barbara and Carol. So I can just twist this up like this, get it nice and tight. And then I'll just bring this two ends together. And then I could go ahead and twist these. And then for the first one, I would leave these twisted together and I would keep adding to this center core, which I already did with this grouping. And right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I usually like an odd number, but this time I'm going to go with 8 because that's what I have prepared. So, and you just go ahead and twist them as tight as you can. Add my 8th one, and I'm just going to do one at a time. Actually, what I could do is just wrap this around and give the ends a really good twist. Hi, Susie from California. Welcome. And I'm just going to go ahead and twist these around. Again, try to get them as tight as you can. And the nice thing about the chenille stems is it'll help you to form that bow. Just like that. Oops, there we go. I was out of camera. Sorry about that. And then when I go to do the stem, I'll just go ahead and lay that right on top. And do the same thing, just twist it around. Got the one. Oops, I didn't finish the end. So again, I always like to take those little ends and twist them together. It just kind of finishes off the piece. And it gives it a little bit better bonding, I think, to the whole bow. I'm kind of liking the contrasting of the red showing through on the backside. And just add this one on top. And if you want to, for good measure, you could take one complete chenille stem and give it a further tie. What that'll help do is just help to really firm up the edge of the bow where everything is all pieced together. So I just wrapped it around and I'm just going to give it a really good tight twist. And I think I'll wrap that around a couple of times. What I can even do actually is leave this bit of a tie present so that, thank you, Dora. Hope I said that right. I'm going to leave that open so that way I can use that to attach it to a gift, a railing, whatever. And there I have my completed bow. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to pull my fabric out of the way so you can see it against that. There's my completed bow. All out of fabric and a couple chenille stems and a little bit of embroidery thread just to, well, you can use regular sewing machine thread, but because the embroidery thread has a little glitz to it, it'll help blend itself in and hide it. And then this is where you can go ahead and play with your bows and just kind of fluff it up as you like, just to add to the dimension of it. And like I said, this one has 8 petals. You may want to go 9 to make it a little fuller. It's your bow, so you can make it as full as you like. Whenever I start playing with this before, I kind of like the look of having the 3 tie ends on the end. Kind of adds to it. So if I was going to do this, let's say on a garland, and I wanted this where the points where the garland went up, I think the 3 ties hanging down from that would look kind of pretty. So this way too, it'll dress up your home, your packages, your trees, whatever. And it's kind of fun. And it's a project too that you could probably do with even a kid who's like a new sewer and wants to try something different because it's just a basic zigzag stitch. Any machine will do it. Again, I would use my open toe foot or an applique foot. The reason again for that, the bottom of the foot is grooved out, so it'll flow over the chenille stems with no effort. And also just make sure that the left swing of the needle goes into the fabric and the right over swings the chenille stem and the fabric, so it kind of binds the two together. You can also do this on your serger if you like, and if you feel adventurous. And again, just make sure that you try not to hit the needle with the chenille stem. And if that's happening, you're having your chenille stem over to the center a little too much, so that whenever the needle comes in, instead of oversewing, it's actually hitting the chenille stem. So you want to make sure your chenille stem is right on the edge of the fabric. I like to use the center needle position of the shaft, and that way from the original position, this way is a needle swinging back and forth, I know I'm still centered with the center core of that shaft, and then this way I'll get a nice even consistent stitch. So hopefully that might inspire you to want to go and get out your brother's scan and cut and cut out a few things. And probably by this afternoon or evening, if you go to amysews.com or amybachman.com, you can get the cut files for this, and then you can cut out your own bow and just review the video, and you can make your own again. And of course, be sure to tell your friends if you like how to make your own holiday bow. Maybe they may like to make one too. And also, if you like this, be sure to check out our subscription classes. We do have the Soldier Box subscription that you can sign up for, and also for the scan and cut. They're available. Just go to Amy Bachman Sew and Quilt, and you can get all the information there and learn how you can sign up today to learn really kind of fun projects like that. And of course, we have our Make It Monday program that we'd love you to have us join. It's free every Monday at noon. Likewise with Flippin Fridays, every Fridays at noon. And of course, we have the Guild at Amy Sew. So all this information you could find easily at amybachmansewandquilt.com. And then be sure to sign up for the mail list. So whenever we have something happening going on in the store, you'll be able to come and take a part of it. Otherwise, we will see you online in our classes. So hopefully, like I said, this will get you inspired to want to take out your scan and cut, your sewing machine, and do a little bow making for the holidays. And that being said, thank you all for watching. Be sure to share this with your friends. And remember, the more you know, the more you sew. Take care.